So recently I was talking to a prospect about the sales hire that they came to us to help them with. And we were talking about what does success look like to them and the salesperson. Because I always try to understand how are we and if we are on the same page when it comes to defining success and making sure that we get them what they want and what they need. And when I asked that question, they sort of gave me all the things that you would normally talk about when it comes to sales mindset, such as coachability, which is great, obviously, thick skin, which something that you want to, and wanting to learn and wanting to grow. And yes, that is all necessary, and that is part of the success for sure of being a successful salesperson. But when I started asking questions about sales skill set, they really struggled to answer my questions. And that made me think about how much confusion there is when it comes to separating sales mindset versus sales skill set. So, what I mean by that? Well, if you're only hiring for sales mindset, that's great if you have an amazing sales training in place. But unless you're some bigger company that already figured out their training process, you probably should care a little bit or a lot about the skill set that you need in a salesperson. So what is a sales skill set like? Well, it is anything that has to do with the job. Like how do you actually do the job? How do you prospect? How do you qualify? How do you close? How do you discover? How do you follow up? I mean, all the things that they need to know how to do. So unless you're willing to teach them how to do it, that's something that you need to make sure that you have some kind of benchmarks in place. So when you interview them, you know that you met your match. So if you're looking for a hunter, they're going to have a sales skill set of a hunter. They need to know how to network, how to find leads, how to get a hold of leads, how to qualify, how to be interesting, how to get somebody on the phone or how to get to that meeting. And if you're looking for an account manager, you got to look for sales skill set that kind of shows you can they actually grow the account set that they will be managing, and do they have track record doing that. So sales skill set is absolutely super important unless again you've got a pretty big training program in place and you're willing to invest in teaching the salesperson with an amazing sales mindset on how to do what they need to do. You shouldn't anticipate and expect an incredible salesperson with an incredible sales mindset to know how to do it all. You got to know what you need, and you got to know what success looks like for you to make sure that you're evaluating for that in the interview process. So I just thought that was interesting, and I wonder how many people confuse the two. And if you ever confuse those two, and if it's still confusing, let me know. I'd love to hear from you and talk about that. But don't don't do one or the other. Don't hire for sales mindset and not for skill set if you are a company that's growing and still doesn't have a really solid sales training in place. You got to have both mindset and skill set. On top of other things that we will be talking later, but that's the two things that you shouldn't be combining together, because somebody who's got an amazing sales mindset and hungry and want to learn and want to grow, that's fantastic, but you also need to make sure you're setting them up for success so they can succeed when you hire them. Anyway, those are my 2 cents for you today. Hope that was helpful, and I will talk to you guys soon.